Hello, everybody, and welcome to Planet FPL, the world where everything revolves around Fantasy Premier League. My name's Serge.
And my name is James.
We're still in lockdown. The content keeps getting pumped out. Today is Wednesday. I think it's going to be 26 degrees today, James.
Woo!
It's like Spain weather. This is like may as well be in Tenerife.
Please don't remind me that I should have been in Mallorca in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, you should.
Please also don't remind me of the fact that I don't have a back garden. Right?
Do you know what you could?
We can take the little one out the front, but
yeah,
it's not a proper garden.
Do you know? You know where my house is. You're not that far away.
I've been drunk in your house.
You can get into the garden from the side gate.
Yes.
So you could. What I should do is just say you just when we're not in there, book in a 2-hour slot. Just go down the side gate. Off you go. Free reign. Run around for a couple of hours. I'll wave at you from the window, and then you can piss off again. I'll rent out my garden. I'm not charging rent, but there you go.
Oh, right. Well, I was going to say, what does that cost on Patreon?
No, it's fine.
What tier is that?
There's no tier for that in Patreon at all. But there you go. I mean, the parks are open and stuff. I think with Harry being like so little, he won't control himself. He'll try and be off here, there, and everywhere.
You tell me about it.
When you're in a park, you don't want him to just be running mad, right, at the moment. But yeah, today's quiz day, James.
Let's do it.
It is.
So,
just a quick shout out before we get into the quiz, because a lot of people have been giving us feedback and support from yesterday's podcast where we launched our Patreon channel. If you have, you know who you are. Cannot give you enough of a big green heart to say thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. And if you haven't had a chance to listen back to that podcast, please do. The quiz is going to be something that we want to do moving forward through our Patreon channel. So there's your segue into that. So do have a listen back to that. And if you have given us feedback and support and you have signed up, you're just amazing. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, echo that. I won't add any more.
Yeah. So now we get into today's quiz. It's it could be confusing to some people that might get confused with their letters and numbers.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be confusing for those who listened to last week's show. So
yep.
last week's quiz basically was 26 questions, and every answer began with a different letter of the alphabet. So there were no two answers beginning with the letter B, for example. So the answers to certain questions may influence what you did on other questions. What I've decided to do this week is flip that on its head. So the questions, it's still going to be 26, but it's going to be question A, question B, etc. And the reason for that is each answer to these questions is a different answer between 1 and 26. No answer will be repeated. So if the answer to question A is the number 5, no other answer will be number 5. Some of these questions are extremely difficult. I'm not going to lie. Some of them, there's literally only 1 or 2 answers it can be.
Okie dokie. I'm hoping for 1 point this week, James.
I'm going to be honest. Unlike last week's one, I think it's possible on this one to get anything between 0 and 26. Shout out to our friend Luke at FPL Irons, who got 25 out of 26 last week.
Oh, and I was that guy's a bit of a quiz ninja.
I was, he really is. He's on the Wolfpack pod. He really knows his onions. And I was like, how did you get 25 though? So he was left with, and I won't reveal the answer, but he was left with the letter for who scored the most goals from outside the penalty box.
Oh,
and he went with the wrong player.
Okay, I know who the right player was. So
Don't just move on. Full disclosure as well, there were a couple of errors in there. I'm not going to lie. So Andy Cole really should have been the answer to who scored the most goals in a debut Premier League season. What should have been the question was who scored the most goals in a debut season in 38 games, because obviously the Andy Cole year was when there was 22 teams in the league. And there was another answer where there was 1 year between a relegation and a Premier League title win, and there were 2 years between them, which we did kind of say on the pod at the time. I don't think there's any errors in this one, but I'm sure someone will tell me if there is.
Well, I mean, when you get to 26 questions, and I think it's fair to reveal you were up pretty late doing it, you know, there's room for error, but it's fun, isn't it? There's no money involved. It's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
No, it's all fun. So the advice on this one is take a pause now if you need to, if you want to get your mates involved, etc. I would advise writing down A to Z as your questions and writing down the numbers 1 to 26, as Suj is currently showing on YouTube, although he looks like he's written it the wrong way round, so it's already going to go
That's
wrong.
backwards.
Yeah.
No,
but you'll get
the
there.
answers are on the right, yeah.
And then cross off as you go.
Correct.
Are you ready, Suj?
Yes.
Okay. Question A. Edwin van der Sar holds the record for most consecutive games without conceding in the Premier League. How many games in a row did the Dutchman keep a clean sheet for during his record run in the 2008-09 season? Sorry, I should have clarified. All of these questions are related to Premier League in some way.
Okay.
Edwin van der Sar holds the record for most consecutive games without conceding. How many clean sheets in a row did he keep during his record run in 2008-09? Got an answer?
Nope.
It's good.
But I know it's in a region of.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it's somewhere in that region. So I'll probably narrow it down a little bit.
Question B. How many games did Frank de Boer manage Crystal Palace for in 2017? How many games did Frank de Boer manage Crystal Palace for in 2017? I think you know that one, Suj.
I've got an answer down. I'm pretty sure. I'd say I was like 80% confident on that one.
Question C.
Mm-hmm.
Listen carefully. I'm going to give you a list of 8 players who all played for Everton in the 90s and noughties.
Mm-hmm.
They are Barry Horne, Gary Speed, Don Hutchison, Stephen Hughes, Duncan Ferguson, Simon Davis, Thomas Gravison, and Mikel Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is what squad number is at the history of at Everton.
They all share the same squad number.
Those players, they might have worn different numbers, but those 8 players all wore the same number during the 90s and the noughties at Everton. What is that number?
And it's a historic number, is it?
What do you mean it's a historic number? It's
As
a
in
number between
it's
1 and 26.
As in, it has historical significance. For example, you'd think the number 7 shirt at Manchester United is iconic, that kind of thing. Is it iconic? No, it's just a shirt number.
It's a shirt number.
So
to repeat those players, it's Barry Horne, Gary Speed, Don Hutchison, Stephen Hughes, Duncan Ferguson, Simon Davis, Thomas Gravison, and Mikel Arteta. They all consecutively, in that order, wore the same squad number at Everton.
Cool. Alrighty.
Question D. What squad number does Andy Robertson currently wear? Obviously, Andy Robertson of Liverpool. What squad number does he currently wear?
Cool.
Question E. How many Premier League clubs have been ever present? So the Premier League is obviously from 1992 to now. Essentially, how many teams have been in the league for all of those years? How many Premier League ever presents have there been?
Let's start. So West Ham. If only, eh? Okay.
Question F. How many different Premier League seasons did Ryan Giggs play in? How many different Premier League seasons did Ryan Giggs play in? For clarity, as repeated on the last question, Premier League is from 1992-93 until present. How many different seasons did Ryan Giggs play in?
Okie dokie.
Question G. How old is Wolves' Ruben Neves?
Ruben Neves.
How old is Wolves' Ruben Neves?
Do you know what I think with this quiz, James?
Well,
Compared to the A to Z questions, it's a little bit easier to have a stab and then go back and change it.
that's
Because
correct. Yes.
I feel like here you've got ranges.
Well, yes, obviously, Ruben Neves, you can discount 1 to 16, can't you?
Well, you could probably discount a bit more than that, but yeah.
Well, exactly.
But
You know what
he's
I'm
not
saying.
27 or older. So I feel like this is actually a little bit easier because you can narrow it down to a range and then kind of go.
And that's why some of these questions are bloody tough.
It's true.
You will get question H, Suj. If you don't, you're in trouble because we did a podcast on it a few weeks back. In the first Premier League season, Norwich qualified for Europe with a goal difference of -4. What was their final league position? In the first Premier League season, Norwich qualified for Europe with a goal difference of -4. What was their final league position?
Alrighty.
Question I. Of the 10 goalkeepers with the most clean sheets in Premier League history, how many are currently playing in the Premier League?
Of the 10 goalkeepers, the most clean sheets in history.
How many of them are currently playing in the Premier League?
Oh, that's a good question.
Cheers. I mean, obviously, this question can't be 11 or higher.
Nah, of course.
So of the 10 highest goalkeepers to keep Premier League clean sheets, how many are currently playing in the Premier League? Question J.
Yep.
This might sound ridiculous, but think about it. Current Manchester United assistant manager Mike Phelan became the Premier League's first ever substitute when he replaced Paul Ince after 7 minutes of United's 2-1 defeat at Sheffield United on the opening day in 1992. What number was Phelan wearing? Current Manchester United assistant manager Mike Phelan became the Premier League's first substitute when he replaced Paul Ince after 7 minutes of United's 2-1 defeat at Sheffield United. What number was he wearing?
Okay.
Question K. Nicolas Anelka won the Golden Boot in the 2008-09 season with the lowest total this century. How many goals did he score? So in 08-09, Nicolas Anelka won the Golden Boot with the lowest tally for any winner this century. How many goals did he score?
That's a good question.
Question L. Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Tottenham in May 2016 was labelled the Battle of the Bridge. Correct. How many Tottenham players were booked? So how many Spurs players were booked in the Battle of the Bridge against Chelsea in May 2016?
Okay.
Question M. Harvey Elliott, now of Liverpool, appeared as a substitute for Fulham at Wolves on May the 4th, 2019, and became the youngest ever player. How old was he? Obviously, you don't have to put days. It's obviously the year. How many years old is he? Harvey Elliott, now at Liverpool, appeared as a substitute for Fulham at Wolves on May the 4th, 2019, and became the league's youngest ever player. How old was he in years?
Okie dokie.
Question N.
I don't trust Harvey Elliott, by the way.
Why?
I don't trust men with man buns.
Didn't he also put some stuff out on some social media about some girl had treated him badly or something?
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know. What a hard life as a teenager earning a ton of money.
I don't know about that because I don't know about social media. You can go and make a TikTok about it if you. But I just don't trust him because of his man bum.
Okay, trust me. When Gareth Bale played for Spurs, I trusted him.
There we go. Let's go.
Question N.
Yes.
How many different clubs did Craig Bellamy score for in the Premier League?
Oh.
You don't have to name them all. I just need a number. How many different clubs did Craig Bellamy score for in the Premier League? Ready, Captain?
Yep.
Question O. In the 2015-16 season, Jamie Vardy broke the record for scoring in the most consecutive Premier League games. How many games in a row did he score in? How many games in a row did Jamie Vardy score in 2015?
I might fluke some scores here, mate.
Well, of course. I imagine a lot of people will. I imagine a lot of people will know many of these as well. Question P.
Yep.
How many goalkeepers have scored in the Premier League? It's not a trick question. We're not including own goals here or anything like that. How many goalkeepers have scored in the Premier League? Is question P. Happy, boss?
Yep.
Question Q. In the 2004-05 season, Chelsea conceded the fewest amount of goals in a Premier League season en route to winning the title. How many did they concede? In 04-05, Chelsea conceded the fewest amount of goals in a Premier League season. How many did they concede?
That was under Jose, was it?
It was his first season in charge, yes.
Surprise, surprise. Park the bus, Jose.
Listen, it doesn't seem to work at Tottenham. So,
You need a new bus.
No, it was 15 years later. It's passed him by, right? Football's evolved.
A little bit.
Question R.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sunderland, and West Bromwich Albion hold a joint record for most Premier League relegations.
Yeah.
If you add their relegations together, what number do you get?
Crystal Palace,
Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sunderland, and West Brom hold a joint record for most Premier League relegations. If you add all of their relegations together, what number do you get?
Maths, James. Maths.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes another bit of maths. Question S. How many home games did Premier League clubs play in the 1994-95 season?
I don't know when they changed.
How many home games did Premier League clubs play in the 1994-95 season?
Okay.
Question T. Two of the best holding midfielders in the Premier League, Fernandinho and Wilfred Ndidi, share what current squad number? Fernandinho and Wilfred Ndidi share what current squad number?
Dino. Yeah. Okay.
Question U. What is...
Hang on. I've gone from... I think I've missed the question now.
Always. That was question T.
Yeah, so prior to that, how many home games in the season?
Yeah.
Prior to that, the combined relegation.
Yeah.
Prior to that, Chelsea's clean sheets.
Yeah. That's Q.
Prior to that, Vardy, number of games.
No, you missed P. How many goalkeepers have scored in the Premier League?
Ah, there we go. That was P was how many goalkeepers?
I will repeat all the questions at the end as well, but the one you're missing is P. So
Yeah.
Q was Chelsea fewest goals. R was the combined relegations.
Yeah.
S was how many home games in the 94-95 season.
Got it.
T, Fernandinho and Ndidi, what squad number they share.
Mm-hmm.
Question U. What is the record for most home wins in a Premier League season? What is the record for most home wins in a Premier League season? Question V. How many Premier League titles did Sir Alex Ferguson win? Question V. How many Premier League titles did Sir Alex Ferguson win? Question W. What was Eden Hazard's first squad number for Chelsea? What was Eden Hazard's first squad number for Chelsea? Question X.
Yep.
Trent Alexander-Arnold has already equalled the record he set last season for most assists by a defender in a season. How many assists has he recorded in total since the beginning of last season? Last season being, what are we in now?
We're in 1920. We're in the 1920-21 season.
Is this in black and white?
It's going to be known as the 1920-21 season.
Yeah. So how many assists has Trent Alexander-Arnold recorded since the beginning of 2018-19 season? Yes. Yeah. It's a combination of the last two seasons.
Okay.
Question Y. Les Ferdinand is 10th on the list of all-time Premier League goal scorers with 149 goals. How many of the top 10 are not English? Les Ferdinand is 10th on the list of all-time Premier League goal scorers with 149 goals. How many of the top 10 are not English? Question Z, the final one. In 2011-12, Manchester City won the title on goal difference. How many goals did they win the title by? So essentially, to clarify, what we're looking for is the difference in goal difference between Manchester City and who finished second. So what was the difference in goal difference when Manchester City won the title in 2011-12? Not their overall goal difference in goal difference between first and second.
Right. I have made an absolute mess, James. So while you restart, I've just got a fresh piece of paper.
I was going to ask you, what's her name?
I think I'm pretty sure I've got an answer per letter's question, and I haven't duplicated.
Okay. While you have a look through, I'll read through them all again.
Yeah.
So question A, Edwin van der Sar holds the record for most consecutive clean sheets without conceding. How many games in a row did the Dutchman keep a clean sheet for during his record run in 08-09? Question B, how many games did Frank de Boer manage Crystal Palace for in 2017? Question C, the 8 players in a row who all played for Everton in the 90s and noughties who all wore the same squad number. Barry Horne, Gary Speed, Don Hutchison, Stephen Hughes, Duncan Ferguson, Simon Davis, Thomas Gravison, and Mikel Arteta, what squad number did they all wear? Doesn't mean that they didn't wear other squad numbers. Question D, what squad number does Andy Robertson currently wear? Question E, how many Premier League clubs have been ever present? Question F, how many different seasons did Ryan Giggs play in? Obviously, Premier League seasons. Question G, how old is Ruben Neves? Question H, in the first Premier League season, Norwich qualified for Europe with a goal difference of -4. What was their final league position? Question I, of the 10 goalkeepers with the most clean sheets in Premier League history, how many are currently playing in the Premier League? Question J, Mike Phelan, the current Manchester United assistant manager, was the first ever Premier League substitute when he came on for Paul Ince in their 2-1 defeat at Sheffield United on the opening day in 1992. What shirt number was he wearing? Question K, Nicolas Anelka won the Golden Boot in 2008-09 with the lowest Golden Boot total this century. How many goals did he score? Question L, in Tottenham's 2-2 draw at Chelsea in the Battle of the Bridge in May 2016, how many bookings did Tottenham get? Question M, Harvey Elliott was the youngest player in Premier League history when he came on for Fulham at Wolves on May the 4th, 2019. How old was he in years? Question N, how many different clubs did Craig Bellamy score for in the Premier League? Question O, in 15-16, Jamie Vardy broke the record for scoring in the most consecutive Premier League games. How many games in a row did he score in? Question P, how many goalkeepers have scored in the Premier League? Question Q, in 04-05, Chelsea conceded the fewest amount of goals in a Premier League season. How many did they concede? Question R, Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sunderland and West Brom hold a joint record for most Premier League relegations. If you add all of their relegations together, what number do you get? Question S, how many home games did Premier League clubs play in the 1994-95 season? Question T, Fernandinho and Wilfred Ndidi share what current squad number? Question U, what is the record for most home wins in a Premier League season? Question V, how many Premier League titles did Sir Alex Ferguson win? Question W, what was Eden Hazard's first squad number for Chelsea? Question X, Trent Alexander-Arnold has already equalled the record he set last season for most assists by a defender in a season. How many assists has he recorded in total since the beginning of the 2018-19 season? Question Y, Les Ferdinand is 10th on the list of all-time Premier League goal scorers with 149 goals. But how many of the top 10 are not English? And question Z, in 11-12, Manchester City won the title on goal difference. How many goals did they win the title by? So the difference in goal difference between first and seconds that season. That's your lot.
Good quiz, James. Thank you very much. Should we go now?
Should we go now?
Yeah.
I think we have to do answers, don't we?
I have a problem here now, James.
Go on, we'll talk through it. We'll give people a minute or so to figure out what they're doing.
I have one leftover number.
Okay.
I knew I'd used one twice.
Yeah.
And the problem is now, if I start chopping and changing, I'm going to end up messing myself up.
You're just going to accept you can't get 26, basically.
Yeah. It's going to be impossible.
What is the number that you've used twice? I don't think we're giving anything away by saying that. Number 4. That's interesting.
And the one the second time I've used it, I'm less confident about. So that needs to shift.
I really thought you were going to say a much higher number than that.
Nah.
I think the answer the answer that is number 4 is one of the easiest ones.
Yeah, that's why the first time I've used it, I'm pretty sure. That's why when it came up second time, I'm like, what? So then it could be the number 5, for example, because the second time I used 4 could be 5.
So what's the number you haven't used?
17. It's not like they're close to each other that it could be one or the other.
That's it. You've got a problem, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's going to be great audio listening or YouTube viewing for me to spend 5 minutes figuring out. I'll take it on the chin with what we've got. Let's have a look.
Okay, lock in your answers, everyone. You can't change them now because obviously the answer to the first one could influence the second one, etc., etc.
Yeah, and I'm just going to leave one blank.
So question A, Edwin van der Sar is the record for most clean sheets in a row. How many did you go for, Suj?
14.
14 is the correct answer.
That was a bit of process of elimination. It was the only number left between the range of 11 and 15 by the end. That's the only reason I went with it. So
14. Just take a second to think about that.
That's a quarter of the season.
He didn't concede a goal for 14 games.
Third of the season.
That's insane. I think, and I might be wrong on this, I think in top division football, in world football, I think it's a world record.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's hours and hours of football.
It's astonishing. But then to do that in the Premier League rather than a league that might be a bit more obscure, which is regularly won by one team, for example. Crazy. Helped
by the four in front of him a little.
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about that. The game that clinched it was a 5-0 win at West Brom.
Yeah.
And they'd well comfortably won the game. Van der Sar was going nuts, making sure we do not concede. And they absolutely made sure that they didn't.
Good.
Question B. How many games did Frank de Boer manage at Crystal Palace in 2017?
4.
Is the correct answer. Yes, 4 games he lasted for.
That's why I was sure 4 was that B. So where I've used 4 further down, I thought, no.
Yeah.
I'm on 100% record at the moment, James.
Very good. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
This one I'm going to get wrong.
Do you want to end now?
No. I think I've got a few more here, but there's a few where it's going to go a bit wrong now. But let's go.
So yes, question B was 4. Question C. What answer do you have for this list of Everton players that all wore the same squad number?
8.
It's not. This is a naughty question. The answer is 10. And the reason that's particularly naughty is, obviously, it wasn't Duncan Ferguson's main number at Everton. It was number 9.
Yep.
Then obviously left. I think he came back and was 24 and then 10 maybe. But obviously, every other player on that list is a midfield player.
Yep.
Naughty question. 10 is the correct answer. Question D. What squad number does Andy Robertson currently wear?
Isn't he 23?
That's incorrect.
I thought it was one of those Michael Jordan wannabes that wears 23. They all do it, don't they?
At least we know what Judas's excuse was now. The correct answer was 26.
Oh, you bugger.
26. I did think of doing Ledley King for that question, but I just thought that was probably a bit too obvious. Same with John Terry.
I knew it was in the 20s. I do have like a vision of his shirt being a 20-something, but okay.
Question E. How many Premier League clubs have been ever present since 1992?
7.
Oh, no. It's 6. It's 6, which is obviously Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Everton and Liverpool.
Yeah, I didn't actually spend the time to list them out. I think if I'd listed them out in my head, that would have probably been all right. But
yeah, Aston Villa obviously were for a very long time until they were relegated in 2016. Man City have been up and down a couple of times. Same with Newcastle, obviously.
Yeah.
Question F. How many different seasons of the Premier League did Ryan Giggs play in?
I went with 13.
13?
Yeah.
It's 22.
Ah, okay. That's quite wrong then.
22. Obviously, he was playing for United when he was 17 before the Premier League even started. I think it was like 39. I might have even been 40 in his final game.
Wow.
22 years.
Scored 40 in his final game. That's incredible.
I think so. He scored in 21 of those 22 seasons.
Wow, that's incredible.
I think it might have even been the last one that he didn't score in. I think that's right, actually.
Wow.
So he scored in the first 21 of those 22 seasons.
Incredible.
Question G. How old is Ruben Neves? I love this question.
I've gone with 24.
He's 23.
Oh, close, but no cigar.
That's all he is. That guy's got major growth potential the way he plays football at that age.
He really does.
Question H. Norwich City finished with a minus goal difference in 92-93 and qualified for Europe. Where did they finish in the league, Suj?
Were they third?
Yes, the correct answer is 3. They finished third with a goal difference of -4. Yeah, mad one. We did a Thursday throwback on that probably about a month ago now.
Yep.
Question I. Of the 10 goalkeepers with the most clean sheets in Premier League history, how many are currently playing in the Premier League?
I've only gone with 2. Yeah, I've only 2. I feel like just.
Can you name either of the 2?
I did. Is it 2?
No.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to think back to all the great goalkeepers that have played in the Premier League that don't anymore. The Czechs of the world, Van der Sars, Michael, Seaman, like just all the great goalkeepers with long careers that have been in the last however many years since 1992. And then I was trying to rattle down the current Premier League, and the great goalkeepers in the Premier League now are all quite recent, like the Edisons and Alissons of the world. So Lucas Fabianski, I went with 1. I thought he's been around for a hell of a long time. So just for longevity, he may be in there. And then I didn't know the second. I thought Scott Carson. He's not going to be Scott Carson, but he's sitting on a third goalkeeper position in Man City or somewhere like that. There might be another one lingering around. But of the current, I didn't think of many others that were going to be there. Lloris might be in there.
I think the one people might have thought that isn't in there is David De Gea. The correct answer is 1.
Okay.
And the player is Pepe Reina of Aston Villa.
He's come back. Fair play.
Who is 6th on the list with 134 clean sheets.
I'm not surprised it's low. And looking at this quiz, what I like about it is now I've got the 2 or 3 here where I've been 1 number out, and that's what's going to happen to a lot of our listeners, James. But anyway.
Correct. Question J. Manchester United assistant manager Mike Phelan became the Premier League's first ever substitute. What number did he wear when he came on?
12?
Correct. Yeah, it was a think about it. For those who would remember, historically, the first Premier League season didn't have squad numbers. So you only had 3 substitutes. You had 12, 14, and then goalkeepers used to wear 13. If some were superstitious, some used to wear 15, actually, rather than 13. You have 12, 14, and 15. But essentially, this answer could only be 12 or 14. So, and question 14 was obviously the first question. Therefore, if you knew that, it had to be 12.
Yep.
Question K. Nicolas Anelka had the lowest total to win a Golden Boot this century. How many goals did he score?
16.
19.
Okay.
The lowest total was shared by 3 players in 1998 and 1997, which obviously is not this century. 3 players finished joint both of those years with 18 goals. But Nicolas Anelka's 19 is the lowest standalone total.
Right, okay, I understand.
Question L. Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Tottenham in the Battle of the Bridge. How many Tottenham players were booked? Hide behind the sofa on this, I think.
I have this wrong because I had down 6 through process of elimination, which I know is wrong now. So, it's going to be something like 7 or 8.
It's 9.
Oh, 9.
9 players booked, mate. Listen, we might not be winning the league, but we're going to kick everyone and go down fighting.
Oh, wow.
9 players booked, which is a Premier League record, obviously.
I've only got 8 questions here where I might get the answers right, James. So,
okay.
I'm hoping I'm going to go on a little run here now.
Question M, you've got to have, for me, is the easiest question of them all. How old was Harvey Elliott when he as the youngest Premier League player?
Is it the easiest of them all? I'm just trying to think. I've got down 15.
Oh, no, it's not.
Because he was 16 in the FA Cup when they were playing this season.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I just thought you're talking a year earlier. Maybe he was 15.
No 15-year-old has ever played in the Premier League. The correct answer is 16. To be precise and to obviously clarify what you're saying there, Suj, he was 16 years and 30 days.
Right. So close.
Only just 16. So
I did think he was 16 in the FA Cup when they played so well, but
he is basically only turned 17 in the last month or so.
Wow. Okay.
Question N. How many different clubs did Craig Bellamy score for in the Premier League?
I've gone with 5.
I will list them for you, Suj.
Do it.
Coventry, Newcastle, Blackburn, Liverpool, West Ham, Manchester City, and Cardiff. The answer is 7.
Okay.
Marcus Bent obviously holds the record for most different clubs played for, which is 8. I don't think he scored for all of them. I think that's Bellamy's total there is the most different clubs scored for, I believe. Question O. How many games did Jamie Vardy score in a row in 15-16 to break the Premier League's consecutive scoring record?
11.
11 is the correct answer.
Yep.
Question P. How many goalkeepers?
Just on a random, completely random note on Jamie Vardy's 11 goals, James. Have you seen my clapperboard in my office?
I don't know. Have I?
Yeah. So I'll pop it out in one of the podcasts. So the game after Jamie Vardy broke the record, the next home game, the Thai owners at the time put those. You can get those kind of clapperboards. You clap them on your hand, and it makes a bracket for every fan on every seat.
Yeah.
And I randomly met the guy that owns the company that makes them, and he happened to go. So I've got one of those. They only printed 20,000 of them sitting in my office. Maybe we should at some point.
What does it say on it?
It's got a picture of Jamie Vardy like doing his goal celebration or whatever, celebrating his record or whatever. We'll pop it out. I'm not next to it.
Get people to bid for it on Saturday, man.
If that's a great idea. I was going to suggest offering out as a prize or something. I'll be honest with you, it has no sentimental value for me whatsoever. If you're a Leicester City fan and you want that clapperboard type thing, it's nothing spectacular or special, but I'm sure it's worth about $3,000.
Is it in decent condition?
Yes, perfect.
All
it's
right.
worth 3,000, 4,000, something like that.
Get people to bid for it on the 24-hour stream,
Done.
mate.
That's a great idea, James. I'm open to that. It's available. I'm going to take a picture of it and tweet it later on today as soon as we're done with the show. Done.
All right, cool. There's other things you can bid for as well. Question P. How many goalkeepers have scored in the Premier League?
I got this incorrect. I went with 9, but...
Bloody hell.
It was the only number left that was sensible because I wasn't going to put 17, was I?
It's 5. Peter Schmeichel, Brad Friedel, Paul Robinson, Asmir Begovic, Tim Howard. 5. 2 of those goals scored at Goodison Park, oddly enough.
Small pitch.
One of them was in the other penalty area, so I don't think it matters. Schmeichel obviously came up for a corner. I never quite understood why Schmeichel...
You know what they say about a club with a small pitch?
The Schmeichel one's really interesting one when you reflect on it. Because they were losing 3-0. Why did he bother going up?
Oh, no idea.
What was the point?
No idea.
What do you think? Oh, for Scoria, we might get another 2 in the next minute. Really weird. Question Q. In 04-05, Chelsea conceded the fewest amount of goals in the Premier League season. How many, Serge?
25?
15.
Wow, that's incredibly low.
Yes, they were stingy. 15 is the correct answer.
Very good defensive record. Well done, Jose.
Don't get me started. Question R. Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sunderland and West Brom hold a joint record for most Premier League relegations. If you add their relegations together, what number do you get?
I think I got this right, James, just by process of you've got 5 clubs.
Correct.
So it's going to be either 15 or 20. And 15 has already been used in the previous questions. It's got to be 20.
So you're saying it can't be 25 as a multiplier of 5 then?
5 relegations each. Could be, I guess.
No, it's not. The correct answer is 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it obviously had to be a multiplier of 5.
Mm.
Question S. How many home games did Premier League clubs play in the 1994-95 season? Again, this could really only be one or the other.
Yep. The one I went with was 21.
21 is the correct answer. Yes, that season 4 clubs were relegated, and then the league reverted to 20 Premier League clubs as opposed to 22.
Mm.
Question T. Fernandinho and Wilfred Ndidi share what current squad number?
Well, I know I've only got 2 questions here where I can potentially get the right answers, and one I've got a blank for, so I know I'm wrong already. I went with 26, but we know that that's Andy Robertson's number.
It is 25, which if people had
Ah.
known that would have obviously eliminated that possible answer from question R. The correct answer for Fernandinho and Ndidi is 25. Question U. What is the record for most home wins in a Premier League season? Now, I didn't say if this was 20 teams or
I
not.
know. I noticed. I went with the 21 game season. I went with 19. But now, thinking about it, the fact that I hadn't used the number 17, I could have possibly gone with that. But I got it wrong either way. I went with 19 at the time, which is incorrect.
Correct answer, and these were all done in 20 team seasons, is 18.
Okay.
3 clubs share that record. Chelsea 04-05, Man United 10-11, and Manchester City twice in 11-12 and 18-19. Won 18 home games in a Premier League season. Obviously, so far this season, Liverpool have won every home game. It is one of the records that they could still break. Although, will they even be playing at home? Anyway, moving on. Question V. How many Premier League titles did Sir Alex Ferguson win?
I had down 10 because of the numbers that I had left, but I'm going to go with 13 instead. But I'm not going to change my answer. I'm giving myself wrong, but through the numbers that haven't been used, I think it might be 13.
13 is the correct answer, yes. So consider that, and you thought Ryan Giggs had played 13 seasons.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Exactly.
I knew. Obviously, they were celebrating 20 titles at the time when he won his last one. So yeah, somewhere around about 10, 12.
Obviously,
13.
Ryan Giggs won all 13 of them as well.
Yeah, mad.
Question W. What was Eden Hazard's first squad number for Chelsea? I think you know it now by process of elimination.
Well, I haven't been figuring it out the other way, but I don't know what numbers are left, James, but I had 18 down at the time.
17 was the shirt number that Eden Hazard wore for his first 2 seasons at Chelsea before taking over the number 10 jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Question X. How many assists does Trent Alexander-Arnold have since the beginning of the 18-19 season?
I have this incorrect. I went with 22. Obviously, it's got to be a multiple of 2.
Yeah.
Because you've got to double up. So it's probably 24.
It is 24. Isn't that staggering?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. The guy's phenomenal. I mean, look, he gets the credit he deserves, but when you think about it, the quality of his delivery from anywhere, and it's not just flashy passes. They're okay. He's feeding Salah and Mane and Firmino, and they're incredible. But he's just so good. There's always an end product on it. His right foot is as good as Beckham's.
I don't know about that.
It's up there, though.
I think when he starts putting away 3 or 4 direct free kicks a season as well, I think he's got 2 maybe this season. Then
so
yeah,
there's every chance he could have put 3 or 4 away. But his right foot, and he's a skinny little guy, isn't he, really? Let's be honest. He's slight, he's tiny.
It's all in, with him, it's all in the technique.
100%. And he doesn't often get beaten in behind. He's got a bit of pace. So
I don't know. He's still got a lot to improve defensively.
Defensively, but he's definitely not the worst in the Premier League.
You and I could do a whole podcast on the Alexander-Arnold versus Wan-Bissaka, mate, in terms of pros and cons, who you would play against. In fact, it's the sort of thing I think we will be discussing with Andy from Let's Talk FPL at midnight on Saturday.
Good plug for the 24-hour live stream. I'm
all over it, mate. Question why Les Ferdinand is 10th on the list of all-time Premier League goal scorers with 149 goals. how many of that top 10 are not English?
It's a good question here, James. So you got Les Ferdinand, Shearer, Rooney jump onto that list straight away. So you're already down to potentially 7. Now I know Aguero's got to be on there, Henry's got to be on there, Van Nistelrooy's probably got to be on there, and so on and so on. So had I not eliminated all of my numbers previously, I'd probably gone half and half, 5 and 5. Teddy Sheringham must be on there just for the fact that he played for about 50 years. So I would have gone with 5, but I had a blank because I'd used 5 previously, which was obviously wrong when I had used it. And 5 was the answer for P. So it's probably going to be 4, isn't it?
Correct answer is 2.
2 are not English.
It is only Aguero and Henry.
Wow. Those 2 were like givens.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
You forget about people like Jermaine Defoe, right?
Mm.
Defoe's in the top 10 because of the longevity of how long he played in that league, right?
Yeah. And I mean, Andy Carroll must be on there because he.
No, don't be silly, Such.
I'm taking the piss. Marlon Harewood, is he on there?
Oh yeah, Marlon Harewood, yeah.
But like
you're 2
talking
behind
about
Shearer.
Longevity. Bobby Zamora, he played for a long time.
Nah, you think about people like
Sheringham, Shearer,
Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen.
Yeah.
So Aguero has 180, Henry 175. Those are the only 2 in the list of top 10 Premier League goal scorers that are not English.
Do you think anyone will ever catch Shearer? Because he's 300 and something, isn't he?
I think, what's happening in the world and the injuries the last couple of years have caused Kane a major problem. But I think if Kane stayed in the Premier League, he's got half a chance, but he's going to have to start staying fit.
What's he on at the moment? You know,
Kane, I think he's about 13th or 14th on the list. But Shearer's still got double him at the moment. Ridiculous. It's miles away. That it could in theory last forever, unless obviously what we need is like a Messi in the league or something, right? Or Cristiano. If Cristiano Ronaldo had stayed all these years, then he might have got it, right? Question Z. What was the difference in goals that Man City won the title over Manchester United in 11-12? They won the title in goal difference. What was the difference between the 2 teams?
I think I got this wrong, obviously, because of the numbers that came previously, but I just went with 1 because I hadn't used 1.
Wow, imagine that. It's 8. Manchester City had a goal difference of plus 64. Manchester United plus 56, and obviously what everybody remembers from that season is obviously Aguero on the final day and all that. But earlier
that goal had just tipped the balance.
But earlier in the season, you talk about games when you think, at the end of it is only 3 points. Earlier in that season, City won 6-1 at Old Trafford. Now imagine that had been 2-1. It'd be level.
Yeah.
Imagine that final day then. Imagine Aguero scored and then United scored again after that. So, 8 is the correct answer for Z.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll take it. 7's not bad. Quite a few near misses in there. I reckon a couple could have fluked a 10 or a 12 out of that. Decent, interesting quiz, James. A few things to go through and what have you.
Cheers, pal. That was middle of the night stuff. I'm not going to lie.
Good. Well, let's give everyone a quick wrap up on the rest of the content this week, because it is a very hectic and busy schedule for us. This evening, being Wednesday, is the first of 3 Champman streams. James will be live tonight with the first half of the double game.
I realised I was sitting there shaking my head, but I really should be nodding my head.
I just need, if you're listening to this before the deadline, which is 7 o'clock?
No, 6:30.
Say, don't forget your team. Don't forget your team. I want 1 million people to text me and say, don't forget your team, because there's a risk of that. Followed by a Thursday throwback tomorrow. We're looking at the Manchester United treble winning side. We're going to look back at that season and how good they really were. Followed by another live stream tomorrow for the second half of the Champ Man double game week. James and our friend FPL Captain really going for getting that content up and running. On Friday, James will be live streaming. Have a couple of beers and relax in the sun, will you? Because on Saturday at 6 a.m., on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/FPL, we are starting a 24-hour charity live stream. We're raising money for the NHS and charities related to COVID and what have you. We're releasing the GoFundMe, just giving links in the next kind of 24 hours so people can start donating. We're starting at 6 in the morning. We're going all the way through till 6 on Sunday morning. We've got 22 guests coming on the show. We've got a Champman live stream in the middle of the day. It's all kind of set up. We spent a few hours sorting out the technicals and all of that kind of stuff. I'm excited for that now, James. Just want it to start.
I want it to end.
And then, do you know what? Next week's Bank Holiday Monday. I don't think we've spoken about this. We haven't spoken about this. We're not recording on Monday, mate. We'll be back on Tuesday.
What?
It's a bank holiday, mate. I work in a bank.
Stop that shit.
Well, let's see. If either one of us...
Mate, you've just broken people.
If either of us wake up on the Monday, then we might record. We'll see. Do you know what I think we should do on the Monday podcast? Is a wrap-up post-game of the 24-hour live stream. Just us talking.
And there's going to be too much stuff to talk about. Monday is that deadline with UEFA, remember? You know, we need to at some point.
Who chose a bank holiday?
At some point, we need to sit down and talk about these comments from like Troy Deeney and Danny Rose and stuff. That some powerful stuff coming out from footballers now, and it needs to be discussed.
Yeah, let's see what happens. All right. My arm's already been twisted. We'll be
obviously
pumping out the content as and when we will. Thank you for tuning in. It's very, very important that you hit the like button and subscribe button wherever you're catching your podcast. And most importantly, head over to youtube.com/PlanetFPL. Subscribe to the channel and get that bell rung so that when we go live for the 24-hour live stream, you know straight away.
Everyone's going to be in bed.
No, they're not. They're going to wait. If you head over to Twitter and follow James at Planet FPL Pod, you'll be able to have a look at the schedule where you'll be able to see where you'll get favorite other content creators or correspondents or whoever we have coming on, so you can bookmark that in your diary.
Can I just say, I've just got this vision now of partners waking up across the world or across the UK going, why have you set an alarm for 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning? Oh no, don't worry, that's Planet FPL just gone live. Yeah, all right.
Don't forget, my missus offered to drop me to the studio at 4:35 in the morning. She ain't
doing that now, is she?
Nah, she stopped straight away with that. So there we go. Thank you for all of your support. If you want to support the show, you can at Patreon, patreon.com/PlanetFPL. That link is in the bio and in James's bio on Twitter and what have you. And even now on our Instagram page, James, we got a few new followers today. I was doing a bit of gramming. So there you go.
Nice.
Let's leave it there. Stay safe. Ciao for now.
Be nice to each other, everyone. Cue music, man, child.